Hello, and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name's Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Carlos from Portland. And Carlos is a therapeutic therapist, and it is a wonderful opportunity that we had to talk about the results that he's able to get with people who are facing an injury or facing some mobility issues. They want to get back out into the world. They want to have big dreams of wanting to climb a mountain or get back to hiking or do the thing they love. And by working with people, he's able to get them back mobile. He's able to get them through that transition period and then out to pursuing their dreams. And so it's a very fulfilling way of running a business. And you can tell that Carlos is very invested in that process with his clients. He runs it, as a lifestyle business, and he wants to continue doing it and not retire. So we brainstormed a really great after unit strategy for orchestrating referrals. And I think that you are really going to enjoy this episode. So here we go. By the way, we mentioned it in this episode, some referral strategies. And I mentioned a report that he can download at gettingreferrals.com. So if you go there, there's a report called The Secret Psychology of Why People Refer Real Estate Agents and How to Be the Only One They Refer. But if you're in a business that's not even real estate, this will be something that the psychology will apply exactly the same way to whatever your business is. So gettingreferrals.com if you want to check that out. But here we go. Let's talk to Carlos. Carlos.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Dean, I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am good. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Where are you?
Oh, I'm all the way in Portland, Oregon, beautiful Northwest.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Way in the opposite corner of you.
Yeah. My girlfriend's from Portland. Her whole family is there. So I'm familiar with Portland. They're in Happy Valley.
Oh, that's like
what a great
10 minutes from me, right? Literally.
Uh-huh. What a great
area.
They got some interesting names for places because Happy Valley is right next to Clackamas.
Yep.
What a name that is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk to you today. I also love these Fridays I do podcasts, so it's kind of a nice. I'm in my favorite chair. I've got my remarkable tablet, my bottle of water. I'm ready to talk about marketing.
Excellent.
So tell me
too.
about what you've got going on, Carlos. This will be. I want to hear the background and then where we can what you'd like to focus on.
Perfect. That would be awesome. So let me give you a little bit of background. So I'm going to give you the Cliff Note version, like I tell people. So I'm originally from Cuba, but I was raised in Puerto Rico, and I came to the States to play baseball, of all things. Go figure, right? And so I graduated from Purdue, and I worked after I graduated for Providence Health. And after a few years, about 11 or 12 years with Providence, I noticed that the patients were kind of a revolving door coming back to see us because same injuries and kind of was getting more dictated by insurance back then. This is like in the mid-80s, 90s. So I decided to take it upon myself to fix it. So I went solopreneur and I started my own business. And I kind of put myself a label of being a therapeutic trainer.
Okay, I like that.
And that was on 2004. Yeah, 2004.
Did
That I
you
opened.
did you make is that did you make up that name, or is therapeutic trainer a real designation?
It's funny. I made it up, and it was kind of a tricky thing because back then was when 9/11 was happening. So originally it was TTN, and people were like, "Well, that's kind of a touchy, too close to explosive." So I'm like, "Oh, let's change it to therapeutic trainers."
Okay, right.
So and now I see some people here and there using the therapeutic component in the fitness industry in the direction they're heading. So I opened my brick and mortar in 2004, and it was great, like super busy, because being in the Providence Health system as a therapist, I was getting all my clients via directly refer from either physicians or colleagues that were kind of like, hey, I got a patient getting discharged and they need a home program follow-up to get back and whatnot. So it was very successful. And then in 2014, for some reason, I kind of hit a brick, and later I found out that I pretty much dry my referral well. So for 10 years, I didn't do any marketing at all, besides fundraising and charities and whatnot. And of course, that will get my name and my brand, and I will get more clients. And I was tiptoeing with Dan Kennedy and GKIC a little bit, but not really at all. And then in 2014, I decided to start this hybrid model where I will see clients in person, and then the ones that were travelers, because these clients had a really long time value with me. They will be with me an average of 5 to 6 years. So they were getting in that age of retirement and starting to travel around. So I created this hybrid model where they will continue working with me almost like on a retainer basis. So whenever they were in Portland, coming, from Snowbird Island or Arizona, whatever, they will come and work with me. And from that, we kind of birthed the fitness retreats where I will spend a week to 2 weeks in Hawaii, and people will come and see me, or I will go to Arizona and do the same thing. And it kind of became this VIP exclusivity kind of process. So I ran that hybrid model almost to this year, where I would do have people in person, and then the other half of the client volume was this hybrid 50-50. So what I ran into was, from 2014 to the current state, I dove into more marketing and clarifying my message and my brand, and this whole niche became the buzzword of like, oh, who do you serve and what do you solve? I'm like, I just get people back to life and enjoying their freaking retirement instead of being comatose or with ailments. So I just kind of almost being in this rabbit hole of like, okay, now my marketing, is my message clear? Is my media, is my message in the right media? Am I talking to the right market? Is my specific? I'm like, it's like a rabbit hole for, I don't know. So with that said, literally, and it was like, until I got the reminder, I realized for the last 6 years, I'm still pretty much running on referrals. Kind of like, this is kind of like a good thing, but it's not a reliable thing, right?
I get it, right.
Because I don't have a quote unquote system, and that's why on the scorecard I put myself a 1 in the orchestrate referrals, because people just find me. They're kind of like, hey, I heard about you. Hey, I seen your clients or whatever. So I don't have a system where people, or a campaign going on. So I'm like, I really need to get clear or stop spinning my wheels with lead magnets and, pop-up windows and whatnot. So that's where I'm at. And then as far as like my time span, as far as marketing, I've been trying to get better at crafting my storytelling / testimonials, and also my copywriting skills.
Mm-hmm.
which are still below average.
Oh. So if we look at what you're able to do for people, because therapeutic trainer doesn't really tell much about it, right? Like in terms of, it feels like something good's going to happen, but it feels like there's something that there's an underlying issue or problem that I'm coming to you to solve, is what it sounds like just listening to the name, that title. So when we look at it, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? Like, what's the puzzle, the cover on the box of the puzzle that we're trying to put together here look like? Are you looking to fill your practice schedule of working with people one-on-one? Are you trying to create online courses? Are you trying to, what does it look like for you if we could just like wave a magic wand and get what you want?
Yeah. So my kind of like end vision, or whatever you want to call it, is I want to be able to still serve, because I really love what I do. And
yes,
I'm being blessed that my clients are awesome. So it's not like I'm looking to retire or sell the business like many people have like tried to talk me into. But because I love what I do. So my vision is to be able to still serve people. On, I would say 60% online, and then the other 40% take them to what I call the experience that I used to give people, which was the fitness retreat. Kind of given the experience almost in a wicked way, kind of test drive all their hard work. Or you can also look at it like a way of celebrating all their hard work. Because I took a look at my good years, kind of like what was happening in 2006 and 2008 was really good. And it was that people will work with me for like 3 months, and then I will say, hey, this week we're going to be in Hawaii if anybody's willing. So we will make a party, like, runs of golf, because a bunch of them were golfers. We paddle surf. So we made it like a whole experience for them. And it was a celebration of like, you guys been kicking butt for 3 months, and this is what it's all about. No shoulder pain, no back pain, no, ankle problems. And people are like, oh my God, who would have thought I could come out here to Hawaii with a bunch of guys or my wife and celebrate and, enjoy the food, enjoy the ocean. So that's why my vision is kind of go back to where I have that group of people. But then at the end, I'm also helping the ones that are coming from the from the murky waters of pain and therapy, and kind of like, I gain all this weight because I'm not able to be active again. Can you help me get to be active? Can you get me to enjoy my time with my grandkids, or, be able to travel with my wife now overseas whenever we can, right? Now that I'm retired. Because those were the pillars that people will kind of share with me back then.
I get it.
So what I created,
the people that came on the retreat, they were people that you've already been working with, and it was like a celebration. Okay. So I think if we look at it, that in short terms, that would be an after unit part of your business, right? That's something that you could invite your clients, the people, that's a part of nurturing a lifetime relationship with people, right? Where you are people coming to you with, like, for a period of time to overcome a specific situation, or is it, how long is your typical engagement with somebody? Like you were talking about 3 or 4 months, or what's your, give me an example of somebody that, if I could send you 10 of them, tomorrow
Yeah.
would be the ideal kind of person that historically you've had a great experience with?
Yeah, great question. So what I started doing years ago was I kind of took some of the advices from people like you, where I'm like, okay, what is the pathway that my people follow, and or what I do for people to succeed, and so forth. So what I created was what I call a roadmap with a blueprint within. So when people arrive or come to me, I don't ask them what hurts or what not. Of course, I do ask them that, but I'm like, what is your ultimate goal in the next 3 months or maybe the end of the year? And then and right now I have a good example of a fellow that he's like, I just want to stay away from the table. I want to get back to hiking, and my ideal ultimate goal would be to climb Patagonia.
Wow!
Right.
And so, what is the issue that prompted him to come to you in the first place? What is it? An injury? Is it a?
Yeah. So he had a knee injury, and it was one of those. If you take care of it, you don't need surgery. But if you don't and keep gaining weight, and the knee keeps wear and tear, and the ligaments keep getting worse, then you do need surgery.
Yeah.
Right. And in the whole process, because he's a hiker, he gained about 18, 20 pounds because of the lack of activity. And of course, a little bit of the depression that goes with it. So
how much of a difference does that make on the joints or on the?
Oh, it is drastically. It's about 8 pounds extra per joint. And then, of course, it creeps up, like I tell people, it kind of creeps up like clouds up to your back. Goes from your knee to your hip, from your hip to your back, and then you don't know where to put where to plug the bucket.
Yeah. Right.
So when somebody like him comes, I ask them the question, and then I present them with literally a roadmap. I'm like, okay, this is where you want to be. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to restore your mobility and your capability, and then slowly we're going to blend into what we call it getting fit again. And the byproduct, you might lose weight, which actually happens. And then the last piece of the puzzle is sending you on your journey to where you want to go. Hiking Patagonia, or, I have another nurse that went sledding with the ducks in Alaska. So, they know where they're going. So when they come in, it's not like, okay, I'm going to sell you 12-week program or 9-month membership or whatever. It's like, no, when you get here, then we transition. So they're committing to the process and not a timeline, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then how do you work with them? What does it look like? If somebody says, that guy, for instance, says, I want to come in and get to Patagonia, and he's 18 pounds overweight, and his knee is possibly requiring surgery, and he's it's like this vicious cycle. He can't do the thing he loves to do, which is hike, so he's gaining weight, and then he needs to exercise to lose the weight to get the pain away from his knee. It's like this whole, I could see how that would be frustrating. Okay. And so what's your protocol, or how do you work with him? So
we do what I call the therapeutic fitness assessment, right? Which is like a standard test that we apply. But then each person gets, based on what I find, which is like, this is what the assessment told me, but also they pick where they feel they are. So there's a diagram, it's a pyramid, a tier pyramid that they say, I feel out of shape but not overweight. I might be overweight. So they pick where they're at, and each level, it kind of tell the story of the level of mental and emotional commitment they're in.
Okay.
So then it's kind of crisscross match. I'm like, well, you're telling me that you're fit, but however, your fitness test came pretty crappy. I'm not
Right.
telling you, this is the testing, right? So they come to Jesus
What kind of
moment
things
that
would be in the fitness assessment? What would be some of the benchmarks?
your typical therapy range of motion with a goniometer, your girth measurements. We don't do too much on the scale and pinching of the body fat because, like I said, it's not a weight loss program. We do what is called the functional mobility system screening, which is one leg squat, shoulder reach, and spine movement and all that. So that is all standardized. So in order, like I tell people, in order for you to be a normal functional human, you should be able to move your head this way and that way. You should be able to reach behind your back. So those are like normal humans should be able to do that. So we're not asking people to do burpees or, crazy one-legged squat. So it's like my mom, 87, can do it. So so they can see that come to Jesus moment of time. And I give it to them to choose. Do you agree? You don't agree? Where do you want to go from here? Right? And most of them, they realize it's like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I thought I was in really good shape, but I'm not really in good shape. So that's when they enter the restoration phase of their program. And then while they do basic, it might be range of motion, it might be a little edema management or stability. Most of them is joint stability and mobility. So nothing about weightlifting or anything like that. A lot of it is therapeutic stuff. I take the advantage and start working on their eating behavior, their mindfulness and mind awareness about how they feel about their bodies and their surroundings. So we start kind of blending some of that mindset component while they go through like a leg lift or just ankle pumps, something simple like that. They can see the benefits, kind of like, oh my God, I was able to go up and down the stairs one after the other instead of one at a time. So they get that confidence, right?
Yes.
So it's that typically, I like to get people through that in 3 weeks. And they are getting all these steps in their inbox, what I call the workout library. They have access. So they see where they at. So
are you doing this assessment, the assessment that you're doing with them, are you doing it by FaceTime or Zoom, or are you doing it in person, or where?
Over the years, I have been able to craft what it was in person to now do it online on FaceTime via Zoom. So I have a couple of programs that I have, software that I got that I'm able to screen their spine and their posture, screen their range of motion, and still keep everything pretty much standard, right? And then all the Zoom calls are recorded, so it's not like you told me, he told me. It's like it's been recorded. You can review it. We can actually reminisce on it. Like, oh man, I sounded like really depressed back then. I'm like, I know. Now you're like a happy dude. Which is great to do once in a while with them. So they see their progress because, like I said, it's a roadmap they actually get to physically see. So if they're ever in doubt, kind of like, why am I not making progress? I'm like, well, did you complete this exercise? Did you record it? This? So they're like, oh yeah, no, I kind of did it. I'm like, well, you see that kind of either you're pregnant or you're not. You did or you didn't. So now we're. So
you kind of give them a daily. You give them a daily protocol to.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do it weekly. So the way I tell other trainers is like they go from a task-based kind of task mentality, like a checklist, do it by the end of the week, to a result later on. Kind of like, okay, I want to go to Patagonia. So there's a result we need to get. But right now, it's a checklist, like a task. So there's not a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout or Tuesday, Thursday. It's like, I don't care when you do it, just do it. Right?
Yes, I got it.
So, and then every Monday.
How often do you meet with them? Yeah,
so every Monday, I do what is called check-in Mondays. So I spend all day Monday on the Zoom call or via phone calls, and some texts, checking in with them. Hey, how'd it go? What did you do last week? What can you do better this coming week? How come? How do you feel? So especially after the weekend, it's a great time to do it because they're licking their wounds
right
from the weekend. So they can kind of start the week with a clear mind and kind of back on course. Kind of like, I went out or I drank too much or, I pushed myself too much. What can I do to fix my swelling because I pushed myself too much on the bike, whatever. So it allows me to kind of give them a guidance for the week ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's on Mondays. And again, they still see it in their inbox. Kind of like, okay, so I'm still in the fourth step. And some people, can go through the steps. It's usually about 9 steps per phase.
Mm-hmm.
I try to kind of minimize it so they don't feel overwhelmed. So some people can do 3 steps in 2 weeks. I'm like, wow, you did a great job. You manage your swelling pretty good. You're on point with your range of motion and your rest of your activities. You're not getting too cocky and pushing your running or you're walking too much. You're on point. So they can see it. I'm like, yeah, I'm ahead of the pack. I'm like, yes, you are. And Saturdays is when they get a attaboy or attagirl message from me because I review what they've done inside their inbox. So they know the man is watching.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because it's a checklist, they have to actually do it. I'm like, did you forget to track it or have you done it yet? Like, I forgot to enter it or I forgot to check it off. Like, just saying, so, yeah. So that's kind of like how I would
you charge? How much do you charge for this service?
So right now it's $425 a month.
Okay. $125 a month. Okay. So
they get all that and then some for that amount. As far as like able to contact me or get on a Zoom call with me. It's very. I have to kind of admit, like at the beginning, it was really like busy. Kind of like people buzz me on Saturday or Monday early morning, and now it's like very rarely because everything is there in their inbox, so they know.
Right.
Being able to create FAQs for them, kind of like if this happened, go this way. If that doesn't work, go this way. So I've been able to
on every time they would call you with a question, you document it, and now you've answered that question ahead of time, right?
And somebody else in the future will have it, so I have it in the back pocket to kind of dish it out right away. So so that's what I charge.
And how long does somebody go through a program with you?
Well, that's the kind of the beauty of it, because once they reach, like for instance, Mike, this guy that wanted to reach Patagonia, he did a Patagonia. We did it, right? No surgery. And then he's like, I met this great group of guys in this trip. It was fun, and we want to do Kilimanjaro. I'm like, really? You want to do? So now we already got the blueprint on how we got to Patagonia. We just need to modify it now so he can push himself to Kilimanjaro. So that state keeps racing up and racing up and racing up.
Okay.
So he's been with me, and he's done already 3 summits already. He's been with me probably 6 years.
Wow. Now, is he an outlier in terms of, is that unusual? Or is, if we were to say, of all the people that are currently working with you right now, what's the average, length of tenure?
5 years. Yeah, it's the 5 average. Years is the average time that people stay. But come and go, like the revolving door, because they know they get what they sign up for. I keep people coming through kind of, hey, I don't want to ski anymore. I want to start cross country skiing because I'm,
Yes.
so they come back for that component because they know they require a different energy system, and they're older or whatnot. Or they might have gone away and they got injured in another way, and they don't want to deal with 12 sessions of physical therapy and all that. They know they get it from their home, and then some more because they get all the other components of a wellness program when they join. So I'll see that influx of self-refer themselves back to me.
I got you. And how many people do you have room for? Like if people are on average working with you for 5 years, it feels like you've got like a pretty stable situation. What percentage of capacity are you at?
I'm not at full capacity.
Right.
Because of for a couple of reasons. One is I have three kids that I'm really like to continue to be involved with them, which is one reason I went solopreneur, because my firstborn was born in 2004. And then the other reason is I like my happy number is 20 people.
Yes.
Right now I got 15 clients. So I'm not that far off. However, like I said at the beginning, this is pretty almost all being self-refer. Like I really don't have a set per se. Like I cannot say out of those 15 people right now that I can say, oh, that was a cold marketing campaign that I did, and now they're my clients.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that you probably have the opportunity to really just focus on orchestrating referrals to make this happen. Like it's probably not going to be the thing where you're trying to push everything through marketing, because to get for just room for 5 clients, it's almost with your history and your relationships, there's probably the opportunity for you to just completely get to that 20 within your after unit. So let me ask you this. How many people do you have that you've helped in the last 5 years, let's say?
Oh my God. In the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Top of my head, I would say at least 80.
Okay.
Consistently coming and going, right. Moving away, coming back to Portland, at least 80.
And now, how often are you in communication with those people?
Fairly well, from the non-business component, fairly regularly. I would say at least once a month with half of them, because the relationship that's been built over the years.
Yes.
So, because I'm from Puerto Rico, I had influx of people kind of like with the hurricane and then with the earthquake. So people are always checking in. It's like, hey, how's your mom and how's everybody? And so they're always staying connected with me via social media. So it's not like, said and forgot. They always kind of reach out to me instead of the other way around. I'm like, hey, thank you for asking, and how you been, and what have you been doing physically and actively. So yeah, I will say every month.
So you look at this. What I would maybe look at doing is creating an orchestrated referral system where, when you get referrals right now, do you get referrals? You must.
I would say honestly, I don't have a referral system. Like
when people come to you, they say, "Oh, my friend told me that you could help me."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what you're getting is what we call passive referrals, right? Where people are just showing up, but you can't really predict that or know when it's going to happen, right? So
Correct.
I think that what might be a really valuable thing for you is to build a list of 100 or 150 possibly people who have either worked with you or know the kind of work that you do that could be that could know people who would benefit from working with you. And I'll share a strategy that we use with our real estate agents is we use something called the world's most interesting postcard. And what that is a postcard that we send every month to your top 150, the people who, if you saw them at the grocery store, you'd recognize them by name and you'd stop and have a conversation with them. Those would be the people that we're talking about. So past clients, friends, extended family, people who are other types of service providers that are in your network, your sphere. And one of the things that we do is try and create a situation that when they hear people talking about mobility or pain or injury or anything that would be something that you could help them with, that they immediately think of you and then tell you about the people that they just had that conversation with. See, all referrals happen as a result of conversation. And what's happening is that three things have to be true. They have to notice that the conversation is about knee pain or about ankle pain or lost mobility or inflexibility or an injury of some kind. Whatever it is, something that would be in your sphere. Then they have to think about you, and then they have to let you know that they've had this conversation with this person, right? So when you look at it, that for every one person who's ever called you up and said, my friend Nancy told me that you could help me with my knee pain. You get me back on the back on the bike or back on my hikes or whatever it is, that for every one time that happens, there's probably 5 or more opportunities that didn't come about because somebody was in Nancy was in a conversation and her friend was talking about knee pain and she thought of you and she maybe even said to her friend, you should call Carlos because he really helped me. But then they didn't call you. And then you run into her at the grocery store, 6 months later, and she says, oh, did my friend Joan ever give you a call? And you say, no, I never heard from Joan. And she said, oh, I guess she got it solved or whatever, But and she may say to you, I tell people about you all the time. But that's not helping you orchestrate referrals, right? We want to get to a situation where whenever they're in a conversation with somebody, that turns into a referral for you. So one of the ways that we do it with the realtors is that we use the backside of the postcard to we have a little Post-it note message that looks like a Post-it note graphic. And the message might say, hi, Carlos, just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about selling their house this summer, right? And if you hear someone talking about it, give me a call or text me and I'll get you a copy of my How to Sell Your House for Top Dollar Fast book to give them. So you're offering something that they could give to someone else, So if you've got a video or you've got a report or a booklet or some ointment or some muscle balming ointment or something that would be helpful for the most common sort of presenting symptoms that people would come to you with.
Okay.
You can imagine saying to all of your top 100, just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about knee pain and wondering if they're going to have surgery. You start to talk about that. Maybe you talk about your friend that you were able to help that everybody thought he was going to have surgery. We took him through a program, and here's a picture of him hiking Patagonia. So if you give me a call or text me, I'll get you a copy I'll send you this video or this report or this book or prescription, protocol for it. Something that the friend would get the glory for,
Yeah. Okay.
And that, I think that if you just did that sort of, the different types of people that you're helping, that would get you your 5, that would keep you at that full practice level,
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a very simple thing, very low cost, easy to implement thing. You may have the postcard series be profiles of transformations. Like if you're looking at your celebrating all of these successes, like the guy that went to Patagonia, who else would be a client that you've helped all the way through to that journey phase?
Okay.
Are there other stories that come to mind?
Oh yeah, almost. I mean, pretty much that's the premise of the business, right? You got to have like an ultimate destination, so to speak. So from dog sledding to walking through Spain, El Camino thing in Europe.
Yeah.
So almost all the clients have that story of destination, kind of like, man, I got here and I should have been on a bedridden, whatever.
Right.
So, okay. Now on that, which I really see the value and how this is applicable. My question is, how do I preset, given that, my market is, and you can probably tell, they're kind of semi-affluent to affluent people.
Yeah, it's fine. But that's part of the thing, is that they're going to be hanging around other semi-affluent to affluent people, right? Like that's what we're looking at, is that how many times, this is where we talk about it, right? That how many times do you think the 100 people that let's take it to your top 100 people. How many times do you think they are in a conversation over a 12-month period that in some way it's related to pain or mobility or injury or potential surgery or weight gain or energy, all of the things that would be precursors to getting on board with you for the restoration kind of phase?
Oh yeah, almost every week, if not every day.
Right. And there's the thing is that's the next thing is how often do you think those people even notice that that's what the conversation is about? I mean, they're just floating around. They're having the conversation. But if you were to elevate the awareness of those conversations by presenting them these stories and this admonition. Just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about knee pain, back pain, hip pain, foot pain, swelling, injury, lack of mobility, loss of energy, stiffness, any of those things, right? That are, all of those are individual potential conversations that somebody might have,
Yeah.
And if you had the way, this is where, I've got into this awareness of what it's doing is it's programming your top 100 people to be on the lookout for people who have a mobility issue or an injury and instructing them on what to do when they hear that.
Yeah.
So that they're calling you to get something that they can give to their friend.
So, yeah.
You're not turning them into a salesperson for you. You're not saying, hey, don't forget to tell your friends. Your referrals are the lifeblood of our business. Please, tell your friends too that we can help them. Is essentially turning your clients into a salesperson for you, which nobody's comfortable with. But if you've got a book called From the Couch to Kilimanjaro, and you're telling a proven path to get from immobility to living your dreams, that would be a wonderful thing that somebody could give a signed copy of your book to their friend.
Okay.
Right? So if every time you're presencing that conversation with someone and they hear someone talking about it, they're going to remember, oh, Carlos just sent me a postcard about that. I should get a copy of this book for Nancy.
Yeah.
And now she's calling you or texting you to say, hey, can you send me a copy of your book? And now you know that she's had a conversation with someone who's got some issue that would be relevant to you, right? So now you can say to your client, Nancy, well, tell me about your friend.
Yeah.
What's going on with Joan? How can I help her the best? But now you know that she's had that conversation. Otherwise, she may or may not say to Joan, oh, you should call Carlos. And she may or may not call you. Right? We're just orchestrating these things for people.
And probably the less steps I have them take, the better, right?
That's exactly right, because it's always easier. It's always easier for them to text you. If you make it that simple, right? If you make sure that everybody in your top 100 has your phone number in their cell phone.
Yeah.
So that then you're prompting them whenever, if you hear somebody talking about that, text me right away and I'll get you a copy of my book to give them, or a specific video to give them, or something that just lets them be the star. They get the glory of it,
Yeah. And then, on that same, let's say, for lack of a better term, in the same tactic, what would be, because of course there's so many ways to go with, like right now I'm thinking of my golf conditioning book, because from back then I created this manual on pretty much how to get from injured to be able to read a green without hurting your back. So I created a pamphlet. But it can be the turn around and flip around. It's winter, and it's how do you go back to snowshoeing? So how is there a guidance or a rule to like, okay, try this tactic for 6 months or 4 months, and if it doesn't work, scratch it and go back to the drawing board?
Yeah, well, right now, part of the thing is that it's happening and you're not aware of it, right? So you're not tracking it in any way.
Yeah.
Right now, you're kind of sporadically reaching out to people, or you're having some kind of contact with them, but there's no sort of strategy or orchestration behind it.
Sure.
And so what I'm showing and advocating for is let's put a strategy around it. So the people who are being referred to you right now, 100% of the time, these referrals are coming from people who know you, like you, and trust you, right?
True.
So we know who those people are. Let's identify those 100 or 150. It doesn't even have to be somebody who you've helped. I mean, it could be people who who they may know some people. It may be their parents, or it may be their brother or sister-in-law, or their neighbor, or their uncle, or whatever it is, right? Everybody has a sphere of influence themselves that they are in conversation with. And if we can get 100 people, programmed to refer you, to be paying attention to conversations about people who could be benefited by your help, that's going to be a win. And so we measure it by what we call your return on relationship. Like right now, if you say, how many referrals did you get in the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months?
Yeah.
Oh, I would say about 5 or 6.
Okay. So if we were to take your top 150, which we know that everybody has, that's about the capacity that people have for relationship, that right now you are getting about a 3% return on relationship, right? And so the way we measure it is we do it for 6 months and see how many referrals have we gotten in this 6 months. Did it go up?
Okay.
And it wouldn't have to go up by very many for you to notice the difference,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that's a wonderful thing, if you start thinking about that. If you start do you take pictures of people celebrating the things?
I don't take it, but they actually send it to me, kind of like, hey, it's me over here on the summit, or hey, see him here with the hot tubbing after a long hike, or whatever. So I do have a handful of those kind of pictures around. So which actually brings me to my next point as far as validity or validating. Do you hear or find that people, because let's say somebody's like, you need to talk to Carlos if this is what you want to do, would that person likely go Google me and find me on
that's
social
what
media platforms.
But this is what's happening right now, is that we don't know how that's going to happen. You're not in control of it. That's the way it's happening right now. What we want to do is that your friend is in the conversation with someone. They say, you need to talk to him. Let me get you a copy of his book. And now your client or friend calls you, and now you know that George exists, right? So now it doesn't matter. You can direct how
which way to go.
You get connected, exactly. Because right now you're having to depend that they're going to go to Google and look you up.
Yeah.
Right. That's unpredictable. Okay. But you can say your friend, your client John is going to call you and say, hey, I was just talking with my friend George, and he's got a knee issue where he's thinking he may have to have surgery, but I told him about what you did for me.
Which is exactly what happens.
Yeah. And now, so you can say, well, let me send you a copy of my book, or these videos that are like this series of how to avoid knee surgery, or how to avoid hip surgery, or how to avoid back surgery, or something that would be relevant for them.
Yeah.
As an introduction to them,
To my habitat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
And it just feels like, do you do a podcast?
No, I do quite a bit of videos because, like I said, I'm working on my copywriting. I'm better on video than writing, so that's why I'm working on the writing component. So I do have like a handful of videos of tutorials on do-it-yourself kind of self-care.
Not that even. I was thinking about your documenting and celebrating the victories.
Oh, that's good.
So every time, imagine if you did a podcast or a video interview with your friend who just went to Kilimanjaro, and you sit down and you tell the story. Like, I used to be this, and I used to, I was constantly on the go, and then I injured my knee, and I was sidelined, and I gained 20 pounds, and I was going to have surgery, and then I met Carlos, and Carlos said, that's ridiculous, and so I started working with Carlos. Yeah.
So start kind of like like pretty much a video journaling.
Yes, that's exactly right. A vlog, right?
Yeah. So pretty much try to capture their hero journey.
That's exactly right. Yes.
And that will be my storytelling content, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay. Super.
I think that's going to be more predictable and reliable for you, because you're almost there at 20 people. Yeah. So I think this could get you to that, and it's such it's such a great goal that you have to just continue doing what you're doing and helping people, and you've got a great lifestyle business, right? You're not looking to scale, clinics all over the world, and
No. I mean, people have always reached out to me with it. I'm like, no, I'm happy doing what I do.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, I'm happy. It's like that story of the fisherman. I'm like, no, I don't want to go back.
Right, I love that story. Yeah, people always say that. Yeah,
I'm like happy here. I love what I do.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so I definitely need to and I have the research. I just need to kind of clean them up a little bit and present it to at least 100 people and captivate.
So I think that the key would be to think about, on one side of the postcard, almost like a picture and story of someone who, almost like you imagine them as like oversized trading cards, baseball cards or sports cards, where there's a picture of the person at the top of the mountain, and you tell basically the story of that person and congratulating them. And then on the other side of the postcard, you just get into that format of just a quick note in case you hear someone talking about knee pain holding them back. A lot of times people who were active or get sidelined with an injury and they don't know what to do. If you hear someone talking about that, give me a call or text me at this number, and I'll get you a copy of my book to give them. That's all. That if you just did that every month, you're going to see a result from that.
Yeah. Or at least be able to systematize a way to get referrals.
That's exactly right.
And then from there, start tweaking and adjusting as needed.
That's right.
Excellent. Good.
I like it. What's your takeaway?
Use what I have.
Yes.
I had it here. I just was not using it.
Right.
So, now putting what I have into like a sort of a process in order to kind of get the pipeline of referrals like it used to be. And also I like the capturing the client's journey to their destination.
Yes. I love it.
I mean, and that can be like my Monday check-in because they're telling me how the last week was. I mean, it happens every week, every Monday. And then, so that's the biggest takeaways. Use what I have that I already know. I just have to implement it, and then I'm able to kind of clean it up and take it from there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Excellent. Me too. Thank you so much. This is added a bunch of clarity and tons of guidance.
That's awesome. Send me one of your email me a PDF or whatever of one of your postcards when you put it together. I'll give you some feedback on that.
Yes, for sure. And I already have some of a picture of you giving me the Post-it graphic on the back. I'm already visualizing it. So this is awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, good. If you want, there's a sample so you can see what we're talking about at gettingreferrals.com. And there's a whole report there that goes into the psychology of referrals. That'll be very useful for you. Yeah. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That was fun.
Oh, very, very much fun. Very, very awesome, and excited that we got a chance to hang out on a Friday. Beautiful weather.
Exactly. That's it.
Beautiful outcome. So it's a good day.
Well, you have a great day in Portland, and I will talk to you next time.
You do the same. I appreciate it again, taking the time.
Thanks, Carlos. Bye.
All right, ciao. Bye.
And there we have it. Another great episode. Thanks for listening in. If you want to continue the conversation, we'll go deeper in how the 8 profit activators can apply to your business. 2 things you can do. Right now, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com and you can download a copy of the More Cheese Less Whiskers book, and you can listen to the back episodes, of course, if you're just listening here on iTunes. Secondly, the thing that we talk about in applying all of the 8 profit activators are part of the breakthrough DNA process. And you can download a book and a scorecard and watch a video all about the 8 profit activators at breakthroughdna.com. And that's a great place to start the journey in applying this scientific approach to growing your business. That's really the way we think about Breakthrough DNA, as an operating system that you can overlay on your existing business and immediately look for insights there. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, and we will be back next time with another episode of More Cheese, Less Whiskers.